In the last lesson, we displayed a list of to-dos in the to-dos view. In this lesson, we are going to style those to-dos using Bootstrap, and this is going to give us an opportunity to learn how to bring in any CSS framework into our Laravel application. To do that, let's go to our browser and visit getbootstrap.com. Then we are going to copy the CSS link for this framework, and I'm just going to close the website. And then I'm going to come to the resources, views, to-dos, index.blade.php, and I'm going to add that link right there. Okay, so we have Bootstrap included. Now, we can change this by giving this some classes. So we can say class equals text center. And if I refresh this page, you can see that the font has changed. The text is centralized. So we can also give this a margin Y of 5 just to give it some margin. And then we can style this list. So to style this list, we can go ahead and give this a class of list group, and then give this a class of list group item. Refresh, and great, we have a really beautiful list right there. But we can put this list item in a card so that it's better. So we can have a card.card default, and then here we can have a card header, and the header is going to say to-dos, and then we can have a card body, and the body is going to have the unordered list. If I refresh, great, you can see we have our card right there. But we don't want this to span the full width of the container. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to have a container. So I'm just going to wrap all of this in a container. Paste that right there. Refresh. And then I'm also going to have all of this in a row. So I'm just going to have a row. Justify content center. And in here, I'm going to have a colon of MD8. And offset MD2, and I'll paste in all of that content right there. If I refresh, great, you can see that we have our to-dos right here. Probably I can skip the offset since I have justify content center. Refresh, great, it's perfectly centralized. So this is our to-dos page, and it has a list of all of our to-dos right here. So I think having 10 is a lot. So we can probably reduce that number. And how do we do that? We can come to our database, cedar, to-dos cedar, and instead of 10, we can do 5. And then we can run php artisan migrate refresh. This is going to refresh everything, drop all tables, and then create them again, which means all of the data in the database at the moment is going to be cleared. And then we can add a file. And then we can add a seed flag right here, which means after clearing all the tables and running the migrations again, go ahead and seed the database. And great, that's done. So if we refresh now, we should see just 5 records. And that's it. So now we have Bootstrap styling in our application. Maybe we should go ahead and add a button right here that helps us view a specific to-do. So how are we going to do that? Let's come back to our view. And right here, we have li of list group item. We are also going to have a button. So button dot button primary, and this is going to simply have view right here. So if I refresh, you can have the view button right there. But let's go ahead and make this smaller. So button small, refresh, and I think there's an XS class to make it smaller. Okay, that's not it. So we have SM, that's the smallest, and then let's just float it to the right. So we're gonna say float right. Okay, so now we have a button that we can click to view a single to-do. We don't yet have the functionality just yet, but we are going to implement it as time goes on. Okay, so in this lesson, we learned how to include Bootstrap, which we can simply include the link to any CSS file right here and then use the classes to start our views. So right now we have a view that has Bootstrap, and we can use Bootstrap to style our application. Great. See you in the next lesson where we're gonna talk about dynamic routing.